So Dr. Doom kills the Marvel Universe, and this story is incredible. It's actually a tie-in to One World Under Doom. The story begins with Doom reflecting on what's happened so far. He says the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men, and S.H.I.E.L.D. are all threats to his rule since he's both Sorcerer Supreme and ruler of Earth. After his fight with Dormammu, he decided to take these dangers seriously and prepare for any future battles. That's when his Doombots report that they've started calculating how dangerous each of these groups is to him. Out of nowhere, Doom is suddenly confronted by Doom 2099. Dr. Doom of 2099. Yes, he was not originally Dr. Doom when he first showed up in 1992, but he is Dr. Doom. They confirmed that in issue number 25 of Doom 2099. So this is a future version of Dr. Doom. Thank you, Warren Ellis, for clearing all that up. Now, Dr. Doom 2099, right? He says the question Victor Von Doom is, have you included yourself among the greatest threats as well? Now, of course, Doom is a little pissed off that somebody would appear to him and immediately start giving him lip. But Dr. Doom says, you come to me like this now in holographic form. Why do you foolishly believe that being a version of me from another timeline actually grants you an audience with Emperor Doom? Because keep in mind, 2099 is Earth 928. It's an alternate future of the main Marvel universe. And so Doom 2099, he says, I now have an audience whether you have granted it or not, Emperor, and I can assure you it is with good reason. I am here to warn you in no uncertain terms that you must immediately relinquish your powers as Earth's Sorcerer Supreme. And where Doom laughs and is dismissive, Doom 2099 says, laugh if you must, but ignore me at your own peril, Emperor, while I cannot reveal the future, as to do so would adversely affect the time stream. I can promise you, if you do not heed my words, the consequences will be more dire than you can possibly imagine. And buddy, he ain't lying. He is not. So Doom is of course kind of dismissive, right? He was like, Doom does not have time for mysterious messages from someone who may or may not be a version of myself from the future. And that's where the response of Dr. Doom 2099, right? He says, I would be lying if I said your response was unexpected. We've had this conversation before. You see, as for me sending holographic messages from your distant future, I don't think you understand. I'm already here. And I am not alone because he's brought with him Bishop Maestro Hulk, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Phoenix, Deathlock, and Old Man Logan. Dude, it is nuts. This team is amazing, and here's the thing, man. It don't make a damn bit of difference because at that moment, Dr. Doom 2099 is like, as we discussed, strike him while he's off guard. What does Dr. Doom say? He lets these guys have it, man. They never had a chance because he's like, if you are truly me, then you would already know Doom is never off guard. Now here's a cool thing, right? Jump away from this battle for a second. And this actually shows how long this has been going on for, because this is not the first time that Doom 2099 has tried this, right? And so an hour ago, right, you switch over to the year 2099 and Doom's talking to his Doombots, right? And they ask, is it true, Master? Is this your last attempt? And Doom 2099 says, yes. And he says, so I must succeed this time. The time platform is unfortunately left with limited power. Hence my jumps are limited as well. I must therefore recruit my allies with absolute precision upon this occasion. And yet I believed I had done so in the past. But with every single attempt, no matter who I sent, no matter how powerful, no matter what timeline they came from, Emperor Doom was ever triumphant. So these people that he sent, these are guys like Nimrod, Kang the Conqueror, Strife, who's an absolute hosp, the Sentry, like over and over and over again. Doom has killed every single enemy that has been sent to him by Doom 2099. That's what we're dealing with, guys, right? So in these final moments when Doom 2099 goes back into the past, one of the Doombots says, but he remembers none of it. As upon each occasion, you've picked earlier points in his timeline to confront him. And that's where Doom is just like, he'll remember this time that I can promise you. And it's like, platform activated, time travel to begin in 3, 2, 1. Now, one of the funny things about this is that one of his Doombots is like, then I wish you luck, Master. And he's like, luck is for lesser men, fool. No matter what has occurred, no matter what situation I currently find myself in, I am still Doom, and Doom requires no luck. Except he does, because immediately on this attack, right? Maestro sends Doom flying out of this wall, right? just sends him like flying out. Doom 2099, right? He's just kind of watched it all unfold, but he says, well done. Do not let up the onslaught, not for a single second. And that's where Dr. Doom, right? Emperor Doom will call him that to make it simple here. He says, since you clearly are the one coordinating this attack, the one and allegedly future me, let me show you how they fare without you, and furthermore how they fare after a spell of blindness, literally blinding everybody. But here's the thing, Emperor Doom is also kind of underestimating things because Deathlok attacks him just because of the fact that he's half cyborg. Deathlok's cool, whatever man. It doesn't really matter, but Cosmic Ghost Rider steps into the fray. Now, for those of you guys who are not familiar with Cosmic Ghost Rider, the long and short of it is that he is a version of Frank Castle who basically watched as Thanos showed up on Earth and killed everybody. And then he made a deal with Mephisto in order to have enough power to destroy Thanos. Mephisto's bargains always come with a trick though. So ultimately he became the Ghost Rider, but then he was stuck on Earth. He couldn't go anywhere. So Thanos starts killing all the cosmic entities across the universe. Galactus shows up wanting to consume Earth, and then turns Ghost Rider into his new herald. And then they go on a warpath to try to kill Thanos. Cosmic Ghost Rider joins Thanos and then ultimately is kind of instrumental in helping him be defeated. This dude's OP, right? He's ridiculously powerful because he kind of builds on what Deathlok said, and he's like, and I'm still 2020, baby. The advantage of not having any eyes, I guess. And he says, let's say we finish this quick, shall we? I got a lot of cosmic ghost riddering stuff to go back home to. So without further ado, let's see if you're still Pizza Supreme after you get baked by my penance stare. And that's the crazy thing, right? The penance stare forces those individuals who are subjected to it to experience all the pain they've caused over the course of their life in one moment. But that's the thing. Emperor Doom is like, as I understand it, your penance stare works on one's regrets. Unfortunately for you, Doom has no regrets. But how about you, Ryder? Right? What regrets do you have? And that's where he's forced to experience all the regret of his family dying and not being able to save any of the superheroes on Earth. So, for a moment, it takes him out of commission. And that's where Maestro turns his attention to Emperor Doom, right? And he's like, the funny thing about Hulk guys, they recover better than most. And literally, Maestro just starts pummeling Emperor Doom, just smashing on this guy like a side of beef. And that's the crazy thing, because what ends up happening is that Maestro, while he's pinning down Doom, Old Man Logan jumps into it and he says, hold him down, and whatever you do, do not let him blast Bishop, which Doom successfully does. Right? Emperor Doom blasts Bishop with a boatload of energy. On the surface is probably one of the worst things he could have done, because the nature of Bishop's powers is that he absorbs energy and fires it back in a variety of effects, or just holds on to it and makes himself stronger, heals himself, or whatever. But that's where Doom calls it, right? He was like, on the contrary, Bishop, energy absorption and the projection blast that can be redirected by me to my benefit. I know precisely how your powers work, and blast everybody off of him. Enter the Phoenix, because she says, I think I've let this go on long enough. Now, it's important to note this is Rachel Summers, it's not Jean Grey. So, she's not as powerful as Jean, but she still has the Phoenix Force. She is immensely powerful. And she says, you know, I see there's a lot of talk about power here today. But when you're the living embodiment of the Phoenix Force, I don't need to say anything. And she goes and attacks Doom. And of course, like Doom shields himself from the powers of the Phoenix. And in that moment, while he's distracted, Old Man Logan tells Maestro, let's do the fastball special. And Maestro is like, number one, I don't know what that is. And number two, I don't do silly little things like that. But Wolverine's like, dude, if you want to win, man, we don't have time for all this bickering. Do you want to win? Because if you want to win, pick me up and throw me at Doom. And that's exactly what happens, right? Maestro is just like, whatever. He grabs Old Man Logan, throws him at Doom, which normally is enough to be able to take somebody out. But Dr. Doom immediately casts a spell and opens a portal. And when that happens, everybody starts getting sucked into it. Even the Phoenix herself trying to use her powers against Doom. Her hands get shackled, and they all get pulled into this portal and sent back to their respective timelines. And then at that point, Emperor Doom looks at Doom 2099 and is like, Then there was one. And that's where Doom 2099 is like the one who poses the greatest peril to your reign out of everybody. And he says, the one who has danced this dance with you time and time again, one who had hoped you'd have come to your senses by now. But if you, my past self, will not heed my warnings, I will be the one who will beat you into submission until you do. And in that moment, Doom 2099 freezes up. He can't move. He can't go anywhere. And he doesn't even know what's going on. And that's where Emperor Doom is like, I've been secretly and quietly casting a spell of inertness this entire time. I've literally just been setting this up to activate it at the proper moment so that when I do, you can't move and you cannot go anywhere. Because keep in mind, Dr. Doom is playing three-dimensional chess while these guys are playing checkers. This game was over before it even started. Here's a crazy thing. This is not Emperor Doom killing the Marvel Universe. This is just Emperor Doom dealing with some threats, right? Just dealing with some guys. And he says, since you've come here like a ghost of Christmas future, warning me about the dangers of my powers, I do believe the time has come for you to experience them fully. You say that you have faced me time and time again. Well, Doom can assure you one thing after today. This time will be the last. And he opens a portal and throws him back into the 2099 universe. Now, here's the crazy thing, right? This is when I talk about Doom killing the entirety of the Marvel Universe. Because why is Doom 2099 even here in the first place? Because what he says when he's talking to his Doom bots is he says, leave Doom with his thoughts. Thoughts of a reality that was supposed to be and the reality that actually is. And he just puts his hand up to a memorial wall and says, the tragedy that actually is the tragedy created by my own hand back when I was him, when I was Sorcerer Supreme, when I ruled as Emperor of the world, when they opposed me, only for us to find out all these Doombots are the superheroes of Earth, but they are robotic versions of the superheroes of Earth. They take their faces off. They're not real. And he says, and in my anger I killed all of them. Every last one of them, every hero and every villain. And not just the men, the women and the children too. But as much as I came to regret that decision, even I could not realize the true consequences of what I had done. That because of my actions, my intended life was forever altered that day. Now I am left here in a timeline that was never meant to be, with only my ability to hope remaining. Hope that somehow my past self loses his power as Sorcerer Supreme, so he will not make the same mistake that I made. That somehow my true timeline will be restored. Otherwise I will remain here. Victor Von Doom, ruler of 2099, ruler of nothing. Because the world has been totally destroyed, he is the only one still alive. With that said, we're going to wrap this up. From what I can tell, this is just a one-shot comic. There aren't any extra tie-ins for the Doom 2099 series in One World Under Doom. But let me know what you think. This story was incredible and I hope you enjoyed this video.